Good afternoon, delegates. Perhaps we can start shortly. Appreciate if the host can turn on the music. Okay, thank you, delegates. Welcome back to our meeting simulation. How was your lunch? Did everyone already had their lunch?
Yes, I have, Miss.
Yeah? What did you eat, Indonesia?
Sorry?
What did you eat for lunch?
I ate soup with chicken in it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Glad to hear. How about the others? It's
The
yeah,
UEA are having a cereal and a milk.
a cereal for lunch.
Yes, but I just have cereal in my boarding house, so I'm having that.
Okay. Well, sometimes it's it's okay to have cereal also like any time at the day. And yeah, I was saying it's kind of unfortunate that we couldn't have the meeting simulation like in person, because sometimes in like MUN or like a meeting simulation where we meet in person, during the lunch breaks and then coffee break, we can have like other diplomatic talks, and it's also fun because there's also where the diplomacy happens. So yeah, even though we couldn't do it like face to face this year, perhaps next year when the time allows us to meet, and then like with the COVID-19 situation is getting better, we can have like model UN or like another simulation meetings just like before, like face-to-face meetings. Nevertheless, we can start. Perhaps the host can start to record and then stream on YouTube Live also for the restricted audiences. So, delegates, before we start like the formal debate, I would like to give some announcements. Since this is the almost the end of our committee session, this would be actually our final committee session number 5, and a lot of things could happen in the next 2 hours. So please be prepared. It's okay if you want to have like your coffee, your maybe snacks or like drinks near you, as sometimes it would like uh, take a lot of energy from you. So it's understandable. I'm also having my coffee to get more energy in sharing this session. And for the upcoming session, I will be sharing again, and then Miss Naila, as my assistant, will also help in conducting this session. So once again, welcome back. And then with that, I announce that the committee session number 5 is in order. Okay, delegates, before we start with the roll call again, I would like to give announcement that the submission of draft joint communique will be closed at 1:30. Until now, the chair hasn't received any draft yet, so delegates still have 18 minutes to submit. You may submit through this uh, direct message in Zoom platform, but you can also send via email. If a representative of the delegate has sent the email or sent the document, please kindly inform the chair so we can check on that file. And that's the announcement. We see some other delegates are coming in. And perhaps we can start with the roll call first before we have further discussion. Ms. Naila, could you share the screen to have the roll call? Okay. For session 5, as usual, we will start the committee session with. Okay. We would like to start with a roll call. And for countries which the chair is calling, please state that you are present and voting. We'll start based on alphabetical order. So delegate of Australia.
Present and voting, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Australia. Delegate of
Thank you.
Bangladesh. Bangladesh is not present. Delegate of Brunei Darussalam. Brunei Darussalam is not present. Delegate of Cambodia. Cambodia is not present. Delegate of China.
Present and voting.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Delegate of Comoros. Comoros is absent. Delegate of Egypt. Egypt is not present. Delegate of France. France is not present. Delegate of Germany. Germany is not present. Delegate of India. India is not present. Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia present and voting.
Thank you, Indonesia. Delegate of Iran. Thank you. Delegate of Iran. It's not present. Okay. Delegate of Indonesia just send me a direct message. Since the Indonesia couldn't give any speech or voting, perhaps we will put that you are not eligible to give a vote first, Indonesia. But when you finish your quiz and you could come back, please write me a message again so I can put you as present and voting in this meeting. So yeah, please change into 0. And then delegate of Iran is absent. Delegate of Italy. Italy is absent. Delegate of Japan. Delegate of Japan is absent. Delegate Mauritius is not present. Delegate of Mozambique. Mozambique is not present. Delegate of Myanmar. Myanmar is not present. Delegate of Oman. Oman is not present. Delegate of the Philippines is not present. Perhaps he is still having internet connection. We can wait. Delegate of Singapore. Singapore is not present. Delegate of Seychelles. Seychelles is not present. Delegate of Somalia. Somalia is not present. Delegate of South Africa.
Delegate of South Africa is present and voting.
Thank you, South Africa. Delegate of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is absent. Delegate of Tanzania. Tanzania is absent. Delegate of Thailand. Thailand is absent. Delegate of Turkey. Turkey is absent. Delegate of United Arab Emirates.
Delegate of United Arab Emirates is present and voting. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, UAE. Delegate of United Kingdom. UK is absent. Delegate of USA. USA is absent. Delegate of Vietnam. Vietnam is absent. Delegate of Yemen. Yemen is absent. Okay, thank you, delegates. With a total of 5 delegates present and voting, then we have 3. The majority, simple majority, 50% plus 1 would be 3. And then the 2/3 majority will be 4. So we need at least 3 delegates in favor to pass a motion and procedural voting. And the chair would like to announce that the chair has received a message from South Africa for the draft joint communique with 12 minutes still remaining time. The chair will read the draft joint communique and will give input. So in the upcoming minutes before the presentation, perhaps the delegates can still discuss to add maybe some points to make this draft joint communique become better. But while the chair is reading the draft joint communique, chair would like to entertain general speech again, so we can have the GSL. Chair, could you, Ms. Naila, could you share screen for the GSL? We can have maybe 2 or 3 delegates who wish to speak at this general speakers list. And delegates who wish to speak, please kindly raise your hand virtually. Okay, delegates of Maldives, you're recognized. Maybe another one. Maybe PRC, Australia, UAE, South Africa. Any of you wish to speak in the GSL? Okay, South Africa. So we have first Maldives and then second South Africa. Okay. For the host, could you make me as the co-host, please? So I could share my screen. For the host. Hello, host. Host, could you be kind to make me the co-host, please? Okay, thank you so much. Now I can share my screen, and then we will have 2 minutes of speaking time. First, we will hear some comments and speech from delegates of Maldives. Maldives, you have 2 minutes to deliver your speech. You may begin. Delegate of Maldives.
Okay, so sorry, Chair. I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates, thank you so much for this, especially when we're talking about 3 topics before about the peaceful and economics, blue economics, maritime security, and etc. Biodiversity and etc. in the first topic, and the second about how the heritage, our common heritage, is it the spice road, and the third about the climate change and the SDGs. So we believe that through this conference, we believe we can go ahead to resolve some sort of problems, such as about how give the peaceful oceans for us. So, to reduce the junk, to reduce the garbage, to reduce the some of the points about the security, trafficking, illegal fishing, and etc. and etc. Maldives itself really support all of us to can support our draft joints that we already done. I mean support our draft joint communicate, and we believe that all of the countries can be respectful for our draft joint communique because it's really can be general to implement to all of the country, and we believe it could be accomplished some of the points even we cannot to delay it, but we believe we can to decrease but the problems or the issues. So that's all from the delegates of Maldives. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Maldives. Next to speak, Delegate of South Africa. South Africa, you have 2 minutes to deliver your speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. The delegate of South Africa noted that along the meeting, we already have a common ground on more collaboration in every aspect regarding to the Indian Ocean issue. For the next and afterwards session, the delegate of South Africa would like to encourage all delegates to more collaborate and also giving the perspective through their states through their state's potential in order to tackle the issue regarding to the food resilience, also about the other natural other natural disaster and the COVID-19 per se that is written in our study guide. And also it is could be enrich our draft joint communique that we already built together and hoping that the all solutions that written in our joint communique could answer and could be implemented well to all the IORA member states. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. That marks the end of the general speakers list. And now we shall proceed to motions. The chair would like to encourage delegates to have motions. Perhaps we can have I know it's still early, but like since the chair is like reading and giving comments to the draft joint communique, perhaps we can start with unmoderated caucus for perhaps 10 minutes, so I can give some inputs. And is there any delegates who wish to propose an unmoderated caucus? Yes, South Africa.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. The delegate of South Africa would like to raise a motion to open the unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes.
Okay, that is in order. Thank you. Delegates of Maldives. Okay, Maldives, I believe you would like to also raise the unmoderated caucus, correct?
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Therefore, we can just vote upon the proposals from South Africa, an unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes. Is there any objections to this motion? Okay, seeing none, then we shall have an unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes, and delegates are welcome to have informal discussions for the next 10 minutes. Now the time is 13:27, so we will meet again at 13:37, so in 10 minutes. Have a great discussion.
Hello, delegate.
Hello.
So what kind of things that we must to do, Kak Din?
Yep. So our joint communique has already sent to chair. So maybe along the way we could also that I think in the joint communique per se, there is something that we need to add more to make this more not only collaborative but also inclusive, because as I've seen, there are much of a kind of opening remarks, but about the data and the solution per se is currently quite subtle. So maybe other delegates, such as the delegate of Australia, UAE, and any other delegate, Indonesia, Maldives, and all of us could add more data into our joint communique. You could
Exactly kalau dari masalah, so sorry, I mean like in the terms of the the climate change,
mm-mm,
I see none of the points or solutions.
mm-mm. Maybe some of you or maybe some of other delegates that representing a state or a country that already implementing some of climate change solution, you could also put it in the joint communique. I will send the link again. So along the way, along the process, or along the meeting, you could also adding some more data or the solutions, or maybe the part of your speech regarding to the solution of all the topic that we'll discuss in our meeting. This is the link.
Perhaps I would discuss about the solutions that had been implemented by Australia. May I?
You're right.
Yes, go ahead, Australia.
Okay. Due to the solutions, Australia has implemented about 5 solutions, like engage in regional cooperation on climate change, combine folk science, indigenous traditions, modern science, and technology in implementing climate strategies. And number 3, embrace the region, Terrace's geography. Number 4, initiate development corridor inland. And number 5, ensuring that cities and urban development sustainable and livable.
Yeah, of course you could. Of course you could put it on the joint communique, and
Okay.
make sure that you will put it in the strictly formatted for joint communique. Like we embrace, we know a kind of format for the joint communique per se. You could add it in along the paragraph that discuss more about the climate change per se. Thank you, Australia.
Okay, Kak. I mean, South Africa.
Delegates the UAE want to say about the solutions or the future for future plan about the climate change.
Of course. You
May
could
I?
also add it to, yeah, you could also add it into our joint communique.
All right.
But again, don't forget to 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 write it in format of joint communique per se. Okay?
Sure.
So, except the climate change solutions, is there anything that we currently quite not enough written in our joint communique?
Obviously, the share have comment on our dogs, and then I see, yeah, maybe the actual actions or the concrete actions of the nominations is not too clearly enough in the joint communique. I just see, so from 2 days of meetings, I see there is the debate is what the debate going on, just maybe too much in not focusing on the uh, spice road as world heritage. So I think we must make a resolutions or make actual or and concrete actions such as joint task force, or maybe we can make national or joint statement that we will work on the nominations of Spice Road as World Heritage. It is, yeah, that's all.
If you open the GDocs link that I've sent into the chat box, you could also see the comments from here regarding to a revision from our draft joint communique. You could also adding more perspective or data regarding to the questions that chair has raised in the comment of our documents. So it will be enrich our joint communique at the end. Thank you so much. Also, if there is anything that any other delegates who wish to spoken more in this meeting, please state it in the formal meeting or even in this unmoderated caucus, because we still have about 10 minutes, because it's our, is it Is the unmoderated caucus already elapsed, or it's 13:38? Is it elapsed on 47 or 37?
Okay, delegates, sorry, I believe the time has elapsed in the unmoderated caucus. However, the chair hasn't finished giving inputs, but perhaps the chair can give some comments. First, initial comments for the draft joint communique. In principle, the chair would like to appreciate the hard work of the delegates in creating this joint communique. And the chair is pleased to hear that we only gonna have one big group of all delegates creating one joint communique. That shows a lot of collaborative efforts in this meeting simulation. So that's one good point. And then in the Google Docs, chair has already give some minor comments regarding some grammatical error. Please check also to the coherency in creating one paragraph. You may revise it. And then the chair recognized there's a serious issue with this draft joint communique, is that there are perhaps several things, or until now, the chair has recognized one specific para that is the same with the previous with the previous communique, as the example in the study guide. Delegates, this is a very serious issue because the draft the joint communique has to be original, created by you, all delegates, and it should not be copy other paragraph. What you can do is you refer to the past communique. So you may revise the document by saying that reaffirming the commitment, for example, reaffirming the commitment as mentioned in the communique of Abu Dhabi, blah 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 blah. It can be it can happen, but to copy the whole paragraph, it's not acceptable. So the chair would like to encourage to have another maybe 20 minutes of unmoderated caucus where the delegates can work together again to revise this joint communique. And please check so that we don't have the same para with the real meeting happening in IORA. So the chair will not tolerate any paragraph that has the same with the original what happened in IORA. You don't have to write like a lot of pages in this draft communique. 2 or 3 pages is already enough. So don't aim for the length, but aim for the substance from what you have discussed together as participating countries. So yeah, with that, Chair would like to propose maybe one of the delegates can raise unmoderated caucus again for another 20 minutes for you to revise the joint communique. Is there any motions on the floor? Yes, PRC.
Yes, the delegates of PRC want to raise a motions unmoderated caucus for maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, for 15 minutes. That is in order. Thank you, PRC. Is there any, okay, under chair's discretion, we will just vote under this unmoderated caucus proposed by delegates of People's Republic of China for 15 minutes. Is there any objections? Seeing none, now we will have another unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes. And please, delegate, use this time wisely to revise your draft communique. And please make sure and check again so we will not have any plagiarism or the same paragraph just like what IORA has published. It has to be original. It doesn't matter that if it's only short, but the thing, it's your work. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next 15 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, guys, so I've been read all the comments from the chair. So maybe I would like to say that I want to give some perspective, or just I want to talk about the uh, uh, joint task force as the concrete actions to nominate the spice route as World Heritage. It is okay, or any countries maybe just yeah, share your ideas.
For me, it's okay, PRC.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sorry, may I add something for Australia?
Go on, Indonesia.
Uh, and before you said that you have implement for a solution for climate change. Um, do you implement the urban living? Sorry, if I'm not mistaken. Do you implemented the urban living or not?
I mean the urban development.
Sorry, your voice is low. I
Urban
can hear you.
development sustainable and livable.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but I can hear your voice.
Urban development sustainable and livable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we can add it to food resilience for climate change.
Okay.
Other delegates, do you agree with this new solution for food resilience to answer karma number 5?
Yeah. The delegate of PRC is strongly agree with that.
Okay.
Also, if there is some of you who are confused to write in a joint communique format, please just drop the data or anything regarding to the topics or the karma per se, and to I will help to exchange it into a more diplomatical way regards to the joint communique format. Thank you all delegates.
Excuse me, I want to ask, have we answered all of the questions in the karma, or there's still questions haven't answered?
Sorry, delegate of Australia, did you just mention something? Because I've heard a little sound.
Yes, I was asking something.
What happened? Could you please?
Have we answered all of the karmas, or there are still questions we haven't answered?
As I've seen in the karmas, and until now we just subtle answered the last karmas, which is discuss about the food resilience and the COVID-19, and also any other natural disaster or natural and any other natural disasters. It is the steps to strengthen food resilience. And for the any other questions regarding to the karma number 1, 2 until 4, I think all of us already discussed it, and it is already written well in our draft joint communique.
Okay, thank you, South Africa.
Sure, Australia, maybe you could also write down some of your data regarding to the solutions or the perspective from Australia regarding to the topics, and also answering the karmas per se in our draft joint communicate. Thank you.
Sure, South Africa, thank you.
Hi, delegates. Sorry to interrupt. We have only 1 minute left, but do you want to prolong the unmoderated caucus? We can have like another 10 or 15 minutes. The chair recognize that you are still working on the joint communique. Would you like to have another 15 minutes?
Yes, yes. Maybe if that would be nice for us. Okay.
Yeah, that would be in order, but I need to have the confirmation from the delegates. Do you need another 15 minutes for the unmoderated caucus?
Exactly, we already in the finishing, but could you add maybe 10 minutes for?
Okay,
Okay, thank you,
that is
Chair.
acceptable. So we will prolong the unmoderated caucus and Maldives. I believe you speaking on behalf of the team, yeah. So we will prolong the UMC until 10 minutes past 2.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, delegates, the unmoderated caucus time has elapsed and we shall proceed with other motions. But beforehand, the chair would like to announce that after reviewing the chair's comments, please submit the final joint communique into our email or you can send to me via direct message in the Zoom platform, but please use it in a PDF format. So Google Docs or documents format will not be recognized. And the deadline to send the draft is at 14:30. So 2:30 in the next 18 minutes. And after you submit the final version of the joint communique, then the motion to have a presentation on this communique will be in order. And then after that, we can have discussions again before we proceed with voting. So now you still have 17 minutes to finalize your draft communique into the communique. In the meantime, the chair will open the floor for motions, but only moderated caucus will be entertained. Since we already have 2 unmoderated caucus and it's already being prolonged, so we will not entertain any more unmoderated caucus for now. Therefore, is there any points or motions on the floor? Okay, South Africa, you're recognized.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. The delegate of South Africa would like to raise a motion to discuss about the step to strengthen food resilience amidst the pandemic and other natural disasters for 5 minutes total time and 1 minute each speaking time.
Okay, this motion is in order. Is there any other delegates who wish to propose a motion? Okay, Maldives.
Maldives would like to propose the motions about moderated caucus with the speaker timing as 10 to 2 with the topics is about the solutions from each country regarding all of the issues. Thank you.
The solutions from each country regarding
All of the issues.
all of the issues. Okay. Perhaps the delegate of Maldives can specify and consider to revise not all the issue, but maybe just one, because delegate can only have 2 minutes to deliver the speech. Maybe there's one particular topic.
Regarding about the sites, can it about the Spice Road and SDG peaceful oceans?
Okay, maybe regarding spice route and maritime aspects, is that enough? Okay.
Yes, Chair, thank you.
Regarding spice route and maritime aspects. Okay, that would be in order. Thank you, South Africa and Maldives. I believe South Africa proposed for 5 minutes total time and 1 minute each speaking time. Is that correct, South Africa?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, that would be in order. So we will vote upon the first motion from the delegates of South Africa, a moderated caucus for 5 minutes with 1 minute each speaking time to discuss the step to strengthen the food resilience. The chair will call the countries one by one, and please state whether you are in favor or against this motion. And since we have six delegates in present and voting, we need at least 3 votes to make this motion passes. Delegate of Australia. Is Australia still here? Okay, Australia.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes, it's okay. Australia, are you in favor or against this motion?
Australia is in favor.
Okay, thank you, Australia. Delegate of China.
The delegate of China is for against this
Okay,
motion.
thank you, China. Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia is in favor.
Thank you, Indonesia. Delegate of Malaysia. If Malaysia is still here. Oh, Malaysia is not here. So delegate of Maldives.
Against, thank you.
Yes, Maldives.
The delegates of Maldives is against.
Against, thank you. Thank you, Maldives. Delegate of the Philippines.
The delegates of the Republic of the Philippines is in favor, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Philippines. Then delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa is in favor with this motion. Thank you.
South Africa and delegate of United Arab Emirates.
United Arab Emirates is in favor in this motion. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, delegates, for your votes. For your votes, the chair's stand is corrected. Since there are 7 delegates present, then the majority, the simple majority will be 4, and then the 2/3 majority will be 5. So we need at least 4 votes to pass a motion. And based on the voting, this motion clearly passes. So we will have moderated caucus for the next 5 minutes with the topic of the step to strengthen food resilience. South Africa, would you like to speak first or last?
The last, please.
Okay, thank you, Australia. Thank you, South Africa. We have 4 more slots in this motion. Delegates who wish to be included in the speakers list, please raise your hand virtually. Perhaps delegate of Australia, delegate of Philippines. Okay, the chair recognized UAE, Maldives, the Philippines, and Australia. If we still have time, maybe I would like to give the floor also to Indonesia, but we will see. We have 5 delegates first. Okay, thank you, Miss Naila. I will share my screen now. Okay. We will have first delegate of United Arab Emirates. UAE, you may have the floor. UAE, delegate of United Arab Emirates.
Am I the rapporteur?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and fellow delegates. The United Arab Emirates is one of the world's most comprehensive plans to address food security, but much can be done to improve its resilience and sustainability. The United Arab Emirates is considered food secure due to its economy and political stability. As a desert country, lacking its water and arable land, the United Arab Emirates is facing a considerable food security challenge of its own. With a growing population and rising consumption needs, the United Arab Emirates must tackle this challenge head-on. Indeed, the United Arab Emirates has recently appointed a new Ministry of State for Food Security, signing a renewed focus on this strategic policy area. This policy paper aims to draw conclusions and recommendations on how to enhance the policy, regulatory, and governmental framework to effectively address food security. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of United Arab Emirates. Next on the list, delegate of Maldives. You may have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you so much for the recognition here. Here's the delegates of Maldives who like talking how we can to strengthen the food resilience. It's Maldives itself. When we're talking about it's talking about how the climate change can affect to the drought, and the farmer may be attacking by it, and we must have a food resilience for it. So here's the thing: the Maldives itself believe the international trade is the term of things. How we can to give an export import things, and we can be like make a improvement about how one country can give to other countries about their necessary things and etc and etc. So we believe that the food resilience can be improving by the international trading. That's one country can be give the other things or foods to the other countries. That's the things. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of Maldives. Next on the list is delegate of the Philippines. Philippines, you may have the floor for 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and thank you so much with the delegates of South Africa to raise this issue. And from the Philippines, the growth of the Philippines agriculture and forestry and fishery sectors continues to be hampered by declining the productivity and non-competitiveness. And due to the limited implementation of the technology, degradation of natural resources, and high vulnerability to climate change. But in fact, that there are a lot of sectors that helping the Philippine agriculture sector, and like what the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the Philippines have launched the new FAO country programming framework, which is from 2018-2024. It is a 6-year plan program that contributes to achieving greater food security and improve the nutrition and further develop the country's agricultural sector. And by this, with the collaboration and development partners from the government, international development institution, it can be said that it will be more safe, affordable, and nutritious food. Its resilience against the threats of the climate change and human-induced disasters. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of Philippines. Next on the list is delegate of Australia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Firstly, I want to say sorry I couldn't turn on the camera. Okay. For the strategy or the step that had been done by Australia to increase the food resilience, such as the harnessing knowledge and innovations, the first one, which means using land, water, and energy respectfully and efficiently. It requires observation and understanding of how complex systems operate and the specifies of local conditions. And also maintenance for the water, nutrient, carbon, and energy flows within the farm rather than the introduction of external inputs like the fertilizer, and integration of the crops and livestock, diversification of crops and livestock species, and focus on interactions and productivity throughout the agricultural system. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate of Australia. Last on the speakers list, Delegate of South Africa.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. The delegate of South Africa seen that most of the IORA member states is such a developing countries. So in order to have a step to strengthen the food resilience among the IORA member states, the delegate of South Africa would like to raise the three main pillars of the regional resilience framework. It is the first one is enhancing livelihoods and productivity to promote resilience per se, also strengthening access to social and basic services that are important for the resilience of food, and also promoting social protection for resilience building. Because in order to have a food resilience, especially in this COVID-19 era, we need to have a more consideration about the facilities and also the services that we could provide in order to implement it. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. That marks the end of our moderated caucus. And we have taken all the time, so maybe delegates of Indonesia, you can raise your hand for another speech in the upcoming motions again. We still have one proposal for a motion, but beforehand, the chair would like to announce that the chair has received the IORA's joint communique.pdf. This document is submitted by the People's Republic of China through direct message to the chair. It has been acknowledged, and the chair would like to check the file. However, we still can have another round of moderated caucus before the chair would entertain a motion to introduce this joint communique. So, Ms. Naila, could you share screen again, our previous motion? Okay, so we have another proposal from delegates of Maldives, a moderated caucus for 10 minutes with 2 minutes speaking time to discuss about the solutions from each country regarding spice route and maritime aspects. With this time, we will have 5 slots of speakers. And since this would be a great topic to be discussed, the chair would like to encourage countries to also participate in the speakers list. Beforehand, we shall vote first. Delegates who the chair is calling upon their country's name. Please state whether you are in favor or against this motion. Delegate of Australia?
Delegate of Australia is against the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Delegate of People's Republic of China?
The delegates of People's Republic of China is in favor with these motions. Thank you.
Thank you, PRC. Next on the list is Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia is against this motion.
Okay, thank you, Indonesia. Delegate of Malaysia. Is Malaysia still here? Oh, delegate of Malaysia is not present. Then delegate of Maldives.
In favor.
In favor. Thank you, Maldives. Then delegate of Philippines.
The delegates of the Republic of the Philippines is in favor. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa is against this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, South Africa. Delegate of UAE.
UAE delegate is vote against with this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. With the total of 3 delegates voted in favor and 4 delegates voted against this motion, therefore this motion fails. And now, since the chair has recognized The chair has recognized the joint declaration, the joint communique. Sorry, the chair stands corrected. The joint communique. Now the motion to introduce the joint communique will be in order. However, for the technicalities, so in this introduction, the chair will give 5 minutes for 3 representatives of the delegates who sponsored this joint communique to introduce. You may share your screen, or the Miss Naila as my assistant can also share the screen if you wish to have the joint communique to be put it in the to be shown in the screen. And after 5 minutes of introduction, chair will entertain another moderated caucus to discuss this draft joint communique. And in this moderated caucus, later the delegates can maybe share the process, the points that has to be still revised, for example, or maybe the strength and weaknesses of this joint communique that would be also in order. So the chair would like to inform that now the floor is open for introduction of the joint communique. Is there any points or motion on the floor? Delegates, we need somebody to propose a motion to introduce the joint communique. Okay, Maldives.
Maldives would like to propose the motions to introduce the joint communique. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maldives. That motion is in order, and we shall vote first. A motion to introduce the joint communique, and then the chair will call your countries one by one, and please state whether you are in favor of this motion or not. So, delegate of Australia.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I don't get it.
Okay, so delegates, we will introduce the joint communique. The joint communique that you have worked together
Yeah.
is going to be introduced and going to be presented in the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So if you agree or you are in favor to discuss about your joint communique, please state that you are in favor. Otherwise, you can say that you're against.
Okay. Delegates of Australia is in favor. Thank you,
Okay.
Madam.
Thank you, Australia. Delegate of People's Republic of China.
The delegate of China is in favor with this motion.
Okay, thank you, China. Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegate of Indonesia is in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Indonesia. Delegate of Malaysia is not present. Delegate of Maldives.
In favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maldives. Delegate of the Philippines.
The delegate of the Philippines is in favor, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Philippines. Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa is vote in favor with this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, South Africa. And delegate of UAE.
Vote in favor, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, delegate. With all delegates have reached consensus to pass this motion. Therefore, the motion to introduce the joint communique passes. And now we will have 5 minutes of the introduction of joint communique. The chair will invite 3 representatives from the sponsoring countries or countries who participated in the making of this joint communique to introduce. For the for my assistant, Miss Naila, could you kindly share the screen so the representative can explain it better? May I ask who are the 3 delegates who wish to explain this draft communique? Okay, so we have South Africa, we have Maldives. Any other delegate who wish to? Okay, PRC. So we have South Africa, Maldives, and then the People's Republic of China to introduce the draft communique. And since beforehand, would you like to be the draft communique to be shown in the screen, delegates?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so Miss Naila, could you please share the screen first, and then the chair will put the timer for 5 minutes. And the chair will inform in the chat box when 3 minutes is, when the time only has 3 minutes left and then 1 minute left. So to remind you for the time, when the screen is ready, the chair will invite the representatives to explain. Ms. Nala, is the screen ready? Could you share the screen? I sent the document. Okay, let's wait a minute. Okay. Now that the screen is ready, the chair would like to invite all the 3 representatives to explain and introduce this joint communique. And the floor is yours, and you have 5 minutes to introduce this joint communique. You may begin, delegates.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you, the Honorable Chair, and also all distinguished delegates. For the first, we are as the delegate of South Africa would explain a bit about our joint communique. First of all, we would like to thank all the delegates who are already worked together in producing our joint communique. So this joint communique per se consists the all solutions and also all the steps regarding to the topics that we discussed for about 2 days. And it's about the Indian Ocean issues per se the regarding to the regional and also the security, socioeconomic development, trade and investment, cultural and tourist exchange, and also promote economic empowerment through the blue economy. So this meeting per se highlighted several things related to the topics and also addressing the key of the whole solutions regarding to the Indian Ocean is the collaboration and also the cooperation between member states, dialogue partner countries, non-governmental organizations, and also the representative of community and or Asian members. So in here, we encourage all member states of IORA to implement the develop IORA action plan, which includes a set of specific and time-bound goals. And also we consider that is the importance to perceive the spice route per se and nominate it as the World Heritage to UNESCO and involving the young generation to also promote the spice route as a common heritage. So for the afterwards explanation, I will give the time for the delegate of PRC and also the delegate of South Africa.
Okay, thank you so much for delegates of South Africa. So here, the delegates of Maldives would like to continue. We see the IORA members have the same identity and culture. To strengthen this identity and culture, we must build strong connectivity between IORA members, countries, and also dialogue partners. We outline how the IORA members, countries must reaffirm their trust and commitment to build sustainable, peaceful, and prosperous to the Indian Ocean Rim region and boost prospect of regional economic growth, culture, exchange, and collaborations. We note that it is important to redevelop the spice road interconnectivity. We acknowledge the cooperations between member states is essential, especially to increase the sense of belonging the members of IORA in the spice road. Besides, the non-IORA countries can belong and construct a multilateral negotiations or cooperations in the terms of peaceful, stable, and prosperous Indian Oceans, spice road, and the common heritage as climate change as addressing the SDGs. We consider our shared desire to safeguard maritime security in the Indian Ocean region and South China Sea. The maritime sector covers not only maritime trade but also maritime security, fishery and aquaculture, maritime tourism, shipbuilding of and offshore energy extractions and explorations. So we acknowledge the importance of working group and maritime safety and security in initiating constructive dialogues and forging partnership among the member states. And I would like to give the speech for the China delegates of China. Thank you.
Thank you for the recognitions to all distinguished delegates and your honorable chair and assistant chair. So we would like to conclude that this joint communique is our dis- our discussions and our debate. After going through 2 days of meetings with lots of discussions and debate, we are very grateful for the opportunity to have a moment to realize that as a maritime country in the Indian Sea, many of us must be active and responsive to the integrity of our sea, especially the IORA member state itself. So this joint communique is a result of discussions that have been carried out. We hope that this joint communique can be a focus for the delegates as well to be delivered and begin to be considered in each country. And also in this joint communique, the important points were explained regarding things that will be done and carried out soon, such as environmental issues, economic developments, and plans for international cooperations. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you, delegates. Just in time for the timer to end. So congratulations for finally producing this draft communique. And then now the chair would like to entertain a moderated caucus to discuss about this joint communique. Perhaps because we will have another break at 3 p.m. Jakarta time in 15 minutes. So we can have perhaps 6 or 7 minutes or 8 minutes perhaps of a moderate caucus to discuss this joint communique. Is there any points or motions on the floor? Yes, delegates of Maldives. Delegate of Maldives, do you have any points or motions?
Okay. The delegates of Maldives would like to propose the motions of 7 to 1 with the topic is about the discussions about the giant community. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. The motion is on order, and this is a great proposal for time since we have 7 delegates present. So under the chair's discretion for the speakers list, we will have just all delegates to speak for 1 minute. So on the speakers list, we will have an alphabetical order. Australia will speak first, and then UAE will speak last. However, UAE sent a direct message to the chair that he is currently having an exam. So if the time if by that time the UAE delegate is not available to deliver the speech, the chair will give the time to another delegate to fill in the position. So, but before that, we shall vote first on this motion. Is there any, to shorten the time? Is there any objections to this motion? Seeing none, now we will be under the moderated caucus for discussing the discussion on joint communique for 7 minutes. The motion passes, and we shall begin with the speech from delegate of Australia. Okay, Miss Nala, could you stop this? Okay, thank you. I will share my screen. And we will have 7-minute moderated caucus. Delegate of Australia, are you ready and here with us?
Sure, Madam Chair.
Okay. Delegate of Australia, you may have 1 minute to deliver your speech.
Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair, Assistant Chair, and all the delegates. As we have discussed and make our joint communique together, we know that we have found the solutions of the problems that we have discussed before. And I just want to enforce that we should believe that by strengthening our connections with effective collaborations and ideas, we'll be ready to face the challenges that await us afterwards. And as the delegations of Australia, I would like to say thank you for all the delegates that have participated here. We have um, brainstorming and we share our ideas based on our countries that we represent. And as part of the Indian Ocean, we believe that from this meeting we will come out and make progress to protect and maximize our Indian Ocean. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate of Australia. Next on the list, Delegate of China. You may have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor, for the recognition. So, China has strongly agreed and also supported that what has been recommended in the points of the joint communique. As the Chinese delegations, we will certainly convey this joint communique to the Chinese government and we'll discuss it on our national agenda. And finally, China would like to express its gratitude for the contributions and state the resolutions from all of the delegates who have participated in this meeting. China is very confident that this joint communique will be the representative of our national concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Next on the list is Delegate of Indonesia.
Thank you for your time, the Honorable Chair. I would like to say, firstly, I would like to say thank you to other delegates, and of course, the member of IORA and non-IORA members. We have a wonderful discussion in this past 2 days and make an action for the solutions to each issue. We believe that we can continue our collaboration and also we will implementing our solution. Uh, and hopefully we can work this joint communique to be an action plan and yeah, that's all I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Indonesia. Next on the list, we have the Delegate of Malaysia is already present again. Let's check. Malaysia is still not here, so Delegate of Maldives may have the floor.
Thank you so much for the recognition, Chair, Honorable Chair, and distinguished delegates. Here's the thing: when we're talking about our joint communique, we believe that it could be implemented well, since we have three topics about the peaceful of oceans, and economic and blue economic, and the second is about how the spice road become the common heritage, and the third about the climate change and SDGs. So we believe that to all, since all of our point of joint communique is really specific and can impactful and be in general for all of the countries of IORA's members or non-IORA members. So we believe that it could be implemented well with the collaborative dialogues between one to the other countries, between partnerships and etc. and etc. So we believe that here's against the Maldives call upon all of the countries to ratify our joint communique. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Maldives. Next on the list, Delegate of the Philippines.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, for the recognition. And first of all, I would like to thank and I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of the delegates coming from, of course, from all over the world and from the IORA and non-IORA members. But what's the most important here is the bottom line is we also collaborate, we enhance and we uplift all the problems and we took some solutions for any certain problems that we've encountered in the Indian Ocean region and with other countries the same. So and of course on the contrary, we are uniting and we're creating peace not just by the separated or not in the individual country, but a complementary and objectives, and there is a positive outcomes for our resolution. And for this, we also extend our heartfelt gratitude to this for this organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of the Philippines. Next on the list, Delegate of South Africa. You have the floor.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. Up and foremost, we would like to thank all delegates that already taking part for our joint communique. Also, thank you for all the fruitful discussion beforehand. The delegate of South Africa believed that this joint communique included all the solutions and hope regarding to the Indian Ocean issues, but we also need to bear in mind that those solutions and hopes couldn't be happen if there is no cooperation. So here, the delegate of South Africa would like to underscore the importance of cooperation between IORA member states, ASEAN member, and also the dialogue partner countries. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. The last delegate is Delegate of UAE. Is the Delegate of UAE already present?
UAE delegate is present, Madam Chair. The Honorable Madam Chair and beloved delegates, as we know that all the country in the ERA members and non-ERA members have provided rationalized resolutions with some concrete actions on the topic and motions over and outlined in the joint communique. The United Arab Emirates delegate believes that the information and solutions offered in the joint communique are really important to be implemented properly. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of UAE. That marks the end of our motions. The chair has recognized that the Delegate of Egypt has joined us in this meeting. Welcome back, Delegate of Egypt. We have discussed a lot of topics, and also the joint communique has been presented. Now the time is 5 minutes to 3 p.m. in Jakarta. So the chair would like to propose that we shall have break first, and then at 3:30 Jakarta time, we can begin again with a short session for general speakers list, and then we shall continue with a voting session. because the joint communique has been received and recognized. It has been presented and being discussed also. So if there is no other further discussion, the chair will entertain the motion to close the debate or the closure of the debate after the GSL and perhaps maybe one moderated caucus. And then after the closure of the debate, the chair will open the floor for the final voting. And then after the final voting, it will determine whether we have a final outcome or not on this meeting simulation. So please be present at the meeting later at 3:30. And for those of you who maybe know the other delegates who are in the group, in the WhatsApp group, please also encourage them to come as well, even though they maybe have other classes this morning or this afternoon. It's okay, and they are still welcome to join our last session this afternoon at 3:30. And the meeting will officially close at 5 p.m. later on. So we just gonna have like a 1.5 another session, and then that marks the end of our meeting simulation. So before the chair closes this committee session, I just want to say congratulations again for working really hard in creating this joint communique. And the chair believes over these past 2 days, the delegates, those of you who participate as a first delegate, or maybe you have experienced in a lot of model UN before. We hope that you gain a lot of new perspective regarding the topics, particularly regarding spice route and maritime aspects and SDGs, climate change, and other topics that we have discussed. And you also gain communication skills and diplomatic skills during this simulation. And perhaps if we still have time later on in the upcoming session, we can also have an informal talks to discuss your feedbacks and your opinions for this meeting simulation. So now the chair would like to propose to suspend the meeting for 30 minutes to have a break. And if there is no objections, then we can proceed to the break. Is there any objections to this proposal to suspend the meeting? Okay, seeing none, now the chair would like to suspend the meeting for a break for 30 minutes. And then now it's 1 minute to 3, so we can just wait or we can just close this session now. So thank you so much, delegates, and we will see you again in 30 minutes. You may have your break and then you may have your coffee, and please be present at 3:30. Ask your friends. We will have the voting session later on. Thank you and see you in 30 minutes.
Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Good afternoon, delegates. Let's start again our last committee session. More delegates are coming in, I believe. So let's get ready. We are 2 minutes behind the schedule, but to recognize we have several delegates already joining in. Perhaps more delegates are coming. But before we start the meeting formally, the chair would like to encourage the delegates to turn on their camera if it's possible and if the internet connection allows you to do so. This would be our last session, so it would be nice to see your face also on screen as we couldn't meet face to face. So like this virtual meeting is another platform to see each other face, even though it's virtual. So the chair recognized we have UAE, we have PRC, Indonesia, and I believe Maldives are joining in. Okay. So let's just wait for more delegates to tune in. And in this last committee session, we will have a few agendas to do, but perhaps the host can stop the share screen first because we will use the share screen option to. Okay, that's great for the roll call and for the other things to do. So welcome back, delegates. This would be our last committee session. And then in this agenda, we will have a continuation of our discussion, a bit of our discussion, and then followed by a voting session, and then some closing remarks. So to chair this last committee session, I will be assisted by Ms. Naila as the assistant. So Ms. Naila, before giving back to you or giving the floor to you to start the roll call, and the chair would like to announce that this last committee session is now in order. Okay, Ms. Naila, you may proceed with the roll call session.
Thank you, Ms. Agatha. Delegates, we will now be having the sixth roll call, just as previous sessions. The chair will call upon the country's name, and please state present and voting when the countries are being called. Right. Thank you, Ms. Agatha. Wait, let me do the share screen. Okay. The chair will now begin the roll call. Australia. Seems like Australia is still absent. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is absent. Brunei Darussalam. Brunei Darussalam is not present. Cambodia. Cambodia is not present. People's Republic of China.
The delegates of China is present and voting.
Thank you, China. Comoros. Comoros is not present. Egypt. Egypt is not present. France. France is not present. Germany. Germany is not present. India. India is not present. Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia is present and voting.
Thank you, Indonesia. Iran. Iran is not present. Italy is not present. Japan is not present. Kenya is not present. South Korea is not present. Laos is not present. Madagascar is not present. Malaysia is not present. Maldives.
Present and voting here.
Thank you, Maldives. Mauritius is absent. Mozambique is absent. Myanmar is absent. Oman is absent. Philippines
The delegates of the Republic of the Philippines is present and voting.
Thank you, Philippines. Singapore is absent. Seychelles.
Present and voting.
Thank you, Seychelles. Somalia is absent. South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa is present and voting. Thank you.
Thank you, South Africa. Sri Lanka is absent. Tanzania is absent. Thailand is absent. Turkey is absent. United Arab Emirates.
The delegates of United Arab Emirates is present and voting, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, UAE. United Kingdom is absent. United States of America is absent. Vietnam is absent. Yemen is absent. Before we proceed, the chair noticed that Madagascar has entered the room. Is delegate from Madagascar here? Oh, it seems like the delegates are out of the room again. Okay, the chair noticed new delegates joining in. Is there new delegates joining in? Can you?
Miss Nara, I think it's delegate of Australia.
Ah. The delegates of Australia, can you hear me?
Yes, the delegates of Australia is present and voting.
Thank you, Australia.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that sums it up with a total of voting 8. Present in this room. We'll have 5 votes for motions and 2/3 for substantive vote. Okay, thank you for the roll call. After this, the chair proposed to proceed to open the floor for general speakers list, so the delegates can state their general speech. The chair proposed for two general speakers list for about 2 minutes. Is there any delegates who wish to speak in this general speakers list? The chair noticed China. The chair noticed South Africa. Okay, we will start with China first. I think Miss Agatha will share the timer. Thank you, Miss. China, the floor is yours for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Your Honorable Assistant Chair, to all distinguished delegates and Your Honorable Chair. Uh, as the delegates of People's Republic of China, um, we will say that as a part of the state sponsor of this joint communique, China wants to convince that all delegates at this meeting to vote either for or against, because this is important as an answer or as a response to all the issues that have been discussed before. China also wants to convey that this joint communique is not the result of the thinking of one country alone, but all of the parties in these meetings. During this meeting, China got a lot of new perspective, which were very critical and creative as well. Through this meeting, China is very confident that in the future, all parts of both member countries and dialogue partners, as well as countries outside the IORA members, such as ASEAN, will be able to implement this and encourage all collaborative efforts in every aspect of the problems that has been faced by the country. As the delegates of People's Republic of China, we do not hesitate to claim once again that all these efforts are built on the foundations of humanity and peace. After this meeting is over, as a delegation from China, we hope that the other delegations will not break up and stop this diplomatic relationship just like that. But precisely from here, we can strengthen each other and open opportunities for cooperations between countries. Thank you. That's all from China.
Thank you, China. We can proceed to South Africa. You can have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and all distinguished delegates. As the aspiration of our former president and also the founding father of IORA, Nelson Mandela, since the beginning of our meeting, the delegate of South Africa always embracing the point of peace, cooperation, and collaboration. Therefore, we want to emphasize more that our joint communique and also all the solutions that regarding to the Indian Ocean issues are involving all the member states and also the other states that including in the Indian Ocean per se. And we would like to embracing the point that the whole Indian Ocean issues is not regarding to one or two or maybe just several countries, but it could affect the whole nations in the world. So again, we want to emphasize the point of cooperation and collaboration between the whole member states of IORA, also the dialogue partner countries and NGO, and also the community representatives from each member state. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, South Africa. I will now give the floor back to our chair, Miss Agatha. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Naila, for conducting the roll call and also for the general speech. Thank you, delegates. We have arrived at our last committee session. And in this very important session, we obviously will have the voting session and also to close our simulation after 2 days of debate and discussions. But beforehand, the chair would like to encourage to have our final moderated caucus, perhaps for just 5 minutes. So it's going to be our last formal debate for delegates to give maybe remarks or thoughts during the process of this meeting simulation regarding the joint communique, regarding your country's positions and expectations. After we have the moderated caucus, and then later the chair will entertain a motion to close the debate. When we have reached that closure of the debate, there will be no more moderated or unmoderated caucus, so that will be like the last or the closure of our discussions. And after we have the motion to close our debate, if it's already agreed by all delegates, we shall proceed to the final voting to determine whether we will have we will adopt the joint communique or not. So with that, is there any other motions or points on the floor? You may raise your hand virtually. Okay, Maldives, you're recognized.
Maldives would like to propose the motions to vote the draft joint communique. Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, Maldives, your motion is not in order because we still need to have a moderated caucus first, and then we need to close the debate first before we have the final voting. So now the chair will only entertain a moderated caucus for perhaps 5 minutes. Is there any points or motions on the floor?
Can I revise Okay, Maldives would like to propose moderated caucus with the speaker timer is 7 to 1 with the topics about the collaborative actions in IORA.
Okay, that motion is in order. And to shorten the time, we will just vote upon this motion proposed by Delegate of Maldives to talk about the collaborative action in IORA for 7 minutes with 1 minute speaking time. Is there any objections to this motion? Seeing none, then this motion passes, and we will be speaking this final moderated caucus for 7 minutes. Maldives, would you like to speak first or last?
Maldives would like to speak last. Thank you.
Thank you, Maldives. Now, for delegates who wish to speak in this motion, please raise your hand virtually. Okay, delegates, this would be your last moderated caucus. Seeing nobody's raising. Okay, PRC, first speaker. Indonesia, second. South Africa, third. The Philippines, fourth. Australia, fifth. One more. Delegates of Seychelles, perhaps. Or not, we can put Maldives in the 6th place first, and then we can open the floor for more speaker later. So thank you, Ms. Naila. I will be sharing my screen. And we shall have the delegate of People's Republic of China as the first speaker. Delegate of People's Republic of China, you have 1 minute to deliver your speech.
Thank you for your recognition, Your Honorable Chair. As stated before in the joint communique and the general speeches by the delegates of People's Republic of China, we would say that once again, we would say that this meeting is just not and we want to say that if we could strengthening our cooperations and also collaborations to face our our problems, and also we wanna make we want make good relations with other members country in IORA and also the outside members in IORA. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Next on the list is Delegate of Indonesia. Indonesia, you may have the floor.
Thank you for the honorable chair. As I mentioned before, we must take an action for this joint communique. And I think with implementing the solutions in our joint communique would increase our collaboration, and hopefully we can work together collaboratively and effectively to take an action for our solution. That will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Indonesia. Next on the list is Delegate of South Africa.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. Here, the delegate of South Africa would like to embrace more about that IORA per se has the sovereign states that not member of the IORA per se, but with the special interest and capacity that we will call it as the dialogue partners. And also with the dialogue partners per se, we have some of the partnership and, for example, partnership in funding, because most of the IORA member states are the developing countries, and we have a dialogue partners such as Egypt, People Republic of China, and also Italy, Korea, Republic of Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States of America that will help the member states of IORA to build up a solution, and also in tackling every issues regarding to the Indian Ocean per se. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. Next on the list, Delegate of the Philippines.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, for that recognition. Well, for the Pearl of the Orient Sea, which is the Republic of the Philippines, unity is the key to creating and, of course, maintaining our lasting peace and harmony. Each one of us has the role and responsibility to taking care our own countries, but we have our responsibility in order to create a harmonious relationship by one another. Unity promotes us to important notion of a living peacefully together or side by side. But putly simply, peace and unity are intertwined. You know unity, no peace, and vice versa. For our each nations, we also helps together to bring the stability and peace necessary for achieving our common goal, which is a greater economic and social progress and development. That would be all. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Delegate of the Philippines. Next on the list is Delegate of Australia.
Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair and Assistant Chair and all the delegates. Here we are in the last session of the meeting, and we have just passed a previous meetings before, and we have discussed all many things that has been the challenges, and also we have discussed the solutions together. We also have put all together on the joint communique. So I hope from that we can realize and make effort together in collaboration, because this is really important. Indian Ocean is not only only belongs to one country, but also it is belongs to us. So it is not enough if we just do it on one country, but we need collaboration. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Australia. Next on the list is Delegate of Maldives.
Thank you so much for the recognition, Chair. Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. Here's the thing, when we're talking about the collaborative actions in IOR itself, first of all, we must to contain about how the collaborative and constructive dialogues between one country to the other country in IORA is really important to build up defense of or the collaborative actions between one to the other to each other, such as for the intents, such as about how the climate change. If your country done with that climate change, it doesn't mean your country doesn't get the effect, because all of the countries still lack of or still fighting with that climate change. So it's affected to your country too. So we believe that the collaborative action is really needed to protect one to the other country and have a collaborative. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of Maldives. We still have one more slot, perhaps for delegates who haven't spoken yet. May I call upon maybe delegates of Seychelles or delegate of United Arab Emirates? Would you like to speak?
Sure, madam.
Okay, Seychelles, you may have the floor for 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, madam, and good afternoon, madam and my friends. I'm sorry for my bad internet connection. I hope that the problems we discuss together and the decision we can make us a better force and the better future. I hope that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seychelles. That marks the end of our final moderated caucus. So excited because it's just the last moderated caucus. And then now that we have finally arrived at the last caucus, the chair would like to announce that now the motion to close the debate is in order. For those of you who are not familiar with the closure of the debate, this motion can only be open or be in order when all the discussion has been finished. And for the past 2 days, the delegates have discussed all the 3 topics about Indian Ocean, about spice route, and also today we talk about the SDGs and climate change. So we have discussed all the agendas. We have also introduced the joint communique. So that marks the requirements to have and close the discussions. With that, we shall begin to have a closure of the debate and followed by a voting session. Please bear in mind that a closure of the debate requires 2/3 majority. So since we have 8 delegates present, the chair believes we have to recount again because the chair just recognized we have delegate of Egypt in the meeting room. So perhaps Ms. Naila, could you open the roll call Excel sheet again? We shall check how many members or how many delegates are present to count the voting or the number of votes needed to pass this motion to close the debate and for the voting mechanism. So the chair recognized we have additional, or Egypt has joined. Egypt, can you hear us? Delegate of Egypt. Oh, I think the delegate of Egypt doesn't have a good connection. So we have Australia, Indonesia, Maldives, PRC, the Philippines, Seychelles, South Africa, and UAE. So we shall have 8 delegates present. Am I correct? Okay, that's correct. So we need at least 6 delegates vote in favor for the motion of the closure of the debate. So now the chair would like to entertain and open the floor for motions, and then the chair will only entertain the motion to close the debate. Is there any motions or points on the floor? Yes, Delegate of Maldives.
The delegates of Maldives would like to propose motions to vote the draft joint communique. Thank you, Chair.
I'm sorry, Delegate of Maldives.
Closing. I mean closing the debate, Chair. So sorry.
Okay, thank you. That's in order. So the motion to close the debate. Okay, delegate. And then this motion requires at least 6 people in favor. So the chair will just call your countries quickly. Please state whether you are in favor or against this motion. Australia.
Australia is in favor, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Delegate of People's Republic of China.
Vote in favor.
Thank you. Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia is in favor.
Thank you. Delegate of Maldives.
Maldives in favor. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Maldives. Delegate of the Philippines. Delegates of the Philippines. Delegates of the Philippines, we need your vote.
Okay, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. The Republic of the Philippines is in favor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Delegate of the Philippines. Delegate of Seychelles.
Vote in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Seychelles. Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa is in favor with this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, Delegate of United Arab Emirates.
UAE believe this debate will be closed soon, so delegates of UAE vote in favor.
Okay, I thought you want to vote against. Thank you, Delegate of UAE. With consensus of all delegates voted in favor with this motion, then the chair announces that the motion passes and we have closed our debate. And now any other motions for moderated and unmoderated caucus are not going to be entertained. And now the chair will only entertain one final motion, which is to conduct the final voting. Beforehand, the chair would like to share the screen, or maybe Ms. Naila, could you share the joint communique first? So for delegates who are just participating in this session, in this final voting, we need at least 6 delegates voted in favor, 6 delegates vote in favor of this joint communique in order for this joint communique to be adopted. This joint communique has been introduced previously and has been discussed. And if the delegates feel that this joint communique represents your country's expectations, your country's discussion and contributions during this meeting simulation, please vote in favor. Or if you believe that this joint communique will make a contribution, also change within IORA's meetings, future meetings, please also vote in favor. However, if any delegates feel that this joint communique doesn't represent their country's position, or they have objections towards several aspects in this joint communique, you may vote against. So that would be in order. However, since the chair has observed that all delegates have shown so much willingness to work and collaborate together, the chair would like to encourage countries to reconsider again, so that this draft or this joint communique will be adopted and will be used as the outcome of our meeting simulation to show that the countries present in this meeting has really a lot of willingness to collaborate, not only among the IORA member states, but also with the dialogue partners and also ASEAN member states. So that would be all. Now the chair would like to entertain and open the floor for the final voting. Is there any motions or points on the floor? Yes, South Africa, you are recognized.
Thank you, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegate. The delegate of South Africa would like to raise a motion to open the final voting for joint communique.
Thank you, Delegate of South Africa. That motion is in order. And under Chair's discretion, we will just have a quick vote first. Delegates who are against this motion, please, against this motion, yeah, not against the draft resolution, against this motion to vote the joint communique, please raise your hand virtually. Seeing none, then this motion passes, and then we will be under the final voting of this joint communique. Delegates, the chair will be calling your country's name one by one, and then please state whether you vote in favor or against this joint communique. Delegate of Australia.
Delegate of Australia is in favor, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Australia. Delegate of
Thank
People's
you.
Republic of China.
The delegates of China is in favor with these motions. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate of China. Delegate of Indonesia.
Delegates of Indonesia is vote in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Indonesia. Delegates of Maldives.
Maldives is in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maldives. Delegate of after Maldives, delegate of Philippines.
The Republic of the Philippines is in favor. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, delegate of the Philippines. Delegate of Seychelles.
Vote in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Seychelles. Delegate of South Africa.
The delegate of South Africa vote in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, South Africa. Delegate of United Arab Emirates.
Vote in favor, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate of UAE, with 8 vote out of 8 delegates. Congratulations, delegates. The joint communique is officially adopted as the outcome of the first Youth International Forum on Spice Route in the Council of Ministers of IORA meeting simulation. With that, the chair announces that this joint communique is adopted. We can have applause or like virtual applause that we have raised, and we have reached a conclusion to have this joint communique. Yay, congratulations, delegate. With that, that marks the end of our meeting simulation. Congratulations on behalf of the organizers from Negeri Rempah Foundation and also Indonesian Maritim Youth, and also from me as the chair and also from my assistant chair. We would like to congratulate all the delegates present in this meeting simulation from yesterday and also from the seminar on the first day until today, this afternoon. The chair has recognized that the delegates have so many potentials and you have learned so much in this process. So the chair hopes that this would not be your first or maybe a number of MUN or meeting simulation, but would be just another push for you to be involved in more meeting simulations. And we hope that since we use or we choose this spice route topic is also because we definitely want to propose and push the spice route as the World Heritage. So, and you as young people, you have the potential, and then we are asking your contribution as well to build the awareness, especially for those of you who are living or coming from countries as IORA member states, and for those of you who are also concerned or have interest in talking about maritime aspects. So once again, congratulations, delegates. And for now, the chair will close the meeting formally. After that, we can have an informal talk. But for now, we shall have voting, one very last voting, which is the adjournment of the meeting. The adjournment of the meeting is different than suspension because with the suspension, we can re-begin or recommence the meeting. But with adjournment, it means that the meeting will be finished once and for all. So the adjournment of the meeting also requires two-third mechanism, but to shorten the time, the chair will just ask, is there any objections to adjourn the meeting? Okay, seeing none, therefore the chair officially announced that the meeting simulation of the IORA's Councils of Ministers meeting is officially adjourned. Okay, congratulations, delegate. That marks the end of our meeting simulation. Yay! Now we can have like, you can open your microphone. This is gonna be like an informal.
Thank you, Chair.
Informal session.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Also amazing.
Okay, now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, you can hold your comments. We still have 45 minutes to discuss. And maybe I will give a few remarks first, and then I can give the floor to our organizers, maybe a representative from Negeri Rempah Foundation and Indonesian Maritime Youths can give a few final remarks to the delegate. But while waiting for them, I just want to say congratulations again. I personally, this is my first time chairing in a virtual MUN or like a meeting simulation, because I usually chair a face-to-face or physical meeting, and but it has been fun. So thank you so much. Actually, with my age, I think it's already past my time, but to have like model UN and meeting simulation. But it's good to be back, and thank you, delegates, for making me having the nostalgic era or if you euphoria of being delegates and becoming chair again. Yeah, thank you so much for participating. We actually have received confirmations from like 30 plus delegates, but perhaps they have works or they have classes or exams to attend. So I really understand the situations, but I appreciate all of you who are able to juggle between your schedules and participating in this meeting simulation. I do hope that during this meeting simulation, you can bring so many and you can have so many takeaways, not only from the substantive materials, from spice route, from maritime aspects, but also from the diplomatic manner. You see that sometimes it's different with the other type of MUN, which they can have like more heated arguments, and with IORA or like other international organizations, we don't have that kind of circumstance. but we have like a more collaborative and working hand in hand with other member states and dialogue partners. So I'm glad to see that you can simulate how the IORA's meeting in the real life, and I can feel that you working as delegates coming from different backgrounds, different cities, different countries, you can come together and work in this joint communique. Maybe that's all from me. Once again, congratulations, and I hope and I wish the best for your journey in meeting simulation or MUN or any other of your journeys. Good luck, and maybe I want to invite Miss Naila if you want to give final remarks.
Yes, please. Thank you, Miss Agatha. If this is Miss Agatha's first time conducting online meeting, to be honest, it's my first time to be participated as assistant chair on this kind of meeting. So it's been also nerve-wracking but fun experience for me, and it's a pleasure to get to know all of you. And I would like to say my greatest thanks to all of the delegates, especially the delegates that participate until this very last session. I know because many of you reach out to me and say that you have classes and other things going on, but your effort to participate is very big. And so I would like to say thank you. And we've reached the end of our meeting today, but I hope instead it will be the beginning of our friendship and collaboration in the future. So I think that's from me. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Miss Naila, and thank you for becoming my assistant. I also hope that you can learn a lot from this meeting simulation. Now, perhaps I can give the floor to maybe if Mas Kaisar is already here, or maybe Mbak Rati, if you want to say something to our delegates.
Yes, thank you. It's been an interesting 2 days. I really appreciate what all of you has done so far. And to be honest, yes, this is also my first time in following a meeting simulation such as this one. I really appreciate what all of you have done so far, and really appreciate that. I hope that this experience would also enrich your knowledge about the spice route initiatives, also all the current situation in Indian Ocean that is also part of the spice route heritage. So again, big applause to all of you. I also would like to thank Ms. Agatha, my colleague, also Naila, also Novna, Akbar, and all colleagues from Indonesian Maritime Youth. I am sure that next year we would probably do this again, right? This is such a fun experience, and I wish I had this kind of experience when I was younger. If Miss Agatha said she's already past her time, wow, I would be very way far. So again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we can meet again. And Indonesia really need uh, the, the kind of younger generation that have interest in strengthening global peace, and it's really encouraging for us. Thank you, Ms. Agatha. I give it back to you.
Thank you, Mbak Kumu, for giving us such encouragement and also inspirative speech. And yeah, perhaps like next year we can already have like a physical meeting simulation. That would be like much nicer. And I would like to ask if Mas Kaisar already joined us. While we are waiting from Mas Kaisar, it's okay. I also want to thank my colleagues, not only Mbak Naila, Mbak Novna, also has helped me in the process of creating this meeting simulation. As our fellow chairs, and then also for Mas Akbar, Mas Kaisar, Mas Chayadi. Thank you so much for helping in the technicalities of this Zoom meeting. Really appreciate it. And perhaps before we announce for like some awards, maybe we can have like some comments or opinions or remarks from delegates. Maybe you can share what do you feel for the past 3 days, not only the seminar and also, but also the meeting simulation. And then maybe you have feedbacks for us, also the organizers. You are free to have the floor. You may raise your hand virtually. I can give you the floor. Okay, Australia.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Chair, Assistant Chair, and all delegates. Actually, this is kind of very interesting for me because also this is my first time in joining meeting simulation. Uh, Actually, I can improve my communication skills here and also gain new friends, maybe from other places of Indonesia. I want to say thank you very much for all the participants, for all the chair, the assistant chair, for Maritim Muda, and also for Negeri Rempah Foundation that have held this brilliant meeting simulations. Maybe I will really agree to recommend this to my friends or other of my family to join these meeting simulations because it's really fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Australia. Other delegates who want to give feedbacks or share their experience? Philippines.
Thank you so much once again for the recognition, Madam Chair. And I'm really very sorry and not to open my camera because of the unstable connection here. But please bear with me. So once again, thank you so much, Madam Chair, and to the Assistant Chair and to the Negeri Rempah Foundation for this amazing experience for us. Though that I'm not came from Indonesia and I came from the Philippines, it it really feels like that I'm a part of your country, which is the people are so amazing. We had a lot of collaborative efforts, and we do something that it's a really very understandable, and we uplift one another. And we also harnessed the talents that we have, especially in the diplomatic skills and the communication skills. And by being united in a group, we also understand to learn to respect everyone's views as long as it is ethical. Someone's back for the greater opportunity for ourselves and for trust one another. And that's the really most important thing here for the unity and a great perspective about with this simulation or meeting simulation. And I hope that I could be meet you, all of you Indonesian people. I really love all of you, and terima kasih. Thank you so much.
Salamat po. Thank you so much, Philippines. You really bring so much energy to our meeting simulation. And every time you give a speech, it's nice to hear that like people are very getting enthusiastic to deliver your statements. And thank you also for sharing the beauty of the Philippines. I am also glad to hear that you feel like part of a bigger part, a bigger part of community, like not only in the Philippines but also in the region. And yeah, I hope that you will participate in more MUN. And yeah, thank you so much for your active participation. Other delegates who wish to.
Terima kasih, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Sama-sama. Is there any other delegates who wish to say their feedbacks?
May I speak?
Yes, Maldives, you may have the floor.
Okay. Thank you so much for the recognition too. So, first of all, like maybe I had followed some MUNs before, like maybe some MUN, but I never found the MUN simulations like this because it's really have a specific things, and I never talking about the oceans especially, so it's really at my knowledge, and I have found some of the people that really insightful. I think that they going with their country's views, and I really like it. And yeah, but even about the draft resolution, I mean the draft in our final draft itself, like it's really a new things for me, and I gain a lot of yes, a lot of knowledge from this committee. Thank you all.
Thank you, Delegate of Maldives. I also want to thank you for your active participation in proposing motions and in initiating dialogues and discussions. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, well, actually, that's the reason why we do not name this activity as Model UN, but we use meeting simulation because in IORA is not part of the UN. That's first of all. But we also tailor the ROP, the rules of procedures, to be more flexible and for the first-time MUNers to be able to follow this simulation better. So thank you, delegates, representative of you who already give your feedbacks. We really appreciate it. And if you have further feedbacks, please do not hesitate to write us at our email, yayasannegerirempah@gmail.com. Maybe Miss Naila can also write again, and you may follow the Instagram account of Negeri Rempah Foundation and also Indonesian Maritime Youths to follow more updates. And now I'm pleased to invite a representative from one of the organizing committee. Beforehand, we have heard from Mbak or Ibu Kumorati from Negeri Rempah Foundation. Now we are going to listen maybe a bit of closing remarks from one of the organizer, Mas Kaisar, representing the Indonesian Maritime Youths. Mas Kaisar, you have the floor.
Hello. You can hear me?
Yes.
Chair. Okay. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here to speak and to give the closing remarks for today. First of all, thank you for your participation on this event, the Youth International Forum on Spice Route for 3 days. Yeah, the first day seminar, and then up to now. Thank you so much for your participation for all participants. I wish this event can improve your skills and your knowledge on on the simulation of meeting, or maybe you can use this opportunity to deep the knowledge of spice route of maritime, and also the culture in many countries. So from this event you can more more knowledgeable with the knowledge from this event. And also with this event, I wish you can get more connected and have more friends from many regions, and also maybe from many countries, not only Indonesia. Thank you once again for your participation, and also thank you Negeri Rempah Foundation from the collaboration with Indonesian Maritime Youths or Maritim Muda Nusantara. Yeah, don't stop this collaboration up to now, but keep contact forever. And also if you the participant wanna join to Maritim Muda Nusantara or Indonesian Maritime Youths, are always welcome. Yeah, maybe that's all. Thanks again for joining us. Yeah, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Mas Kaisar, for the closing remarks and for participating at the last session of our simulation, despite of your busy schedule. Thank you so much for joining in. And for delegates, as Mas Kaisar and Mbak Kumo already mentioned, please follow also the social media of Negeri Rempah Foundation and Indonesian Maritime Youths. Perhaps in the future, not only meeting simulation, but we can also have more other opportunities for you to join. So yeah, follow, and then if in YouTube you say follow, like, and subscribe, like I don't know why it's in my head, but before we move on or proceed to the last agenda, I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to have a photo session first, as Mbak Rati also requested. So for delegates, please kindly turn on your camera and then give your best smile, and then my colleague will I will take the screenshot, or I can also do the screenshot as like our takeaways from this meeting. Oh, Mbak Nokma is here. Okay. Okay. I'll count from 1 to 3. So please give your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Another one, perhaps. Okay, we can have another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, delegates. Thank you, Mbak Rati, Mas Kaisar.
Welcome.
Now we will officially close this meeting simulation and also the events of the first Youth International Forum of Spice Route by announcing some awards as our appreciation to all of you who have participated very, very actively in this meeting. And there are some awards. And before announcing who got which award, I just want to say to you that awards is just like one of appreciation, but it doesn't really determine like your future. Like my first MUN, I was like very inactive because I didn't know what to do. It was like the first years on when MUN came and become a boom in around 2011. So it's like the first wave of like MUN. Oh, it's already like 10 years ago. Can you believe it? But I saw so many potentials from you. So whether you win any awards or not, please continue your journey in meeting simulations. I'm sure you will learn a lot in other or future meeting simulations and MUNs and other similar international events just like this. So I would like to announce the first award, which is the best position paper for all the winners and also for all delegates. Do not worry because we have prepared certificates of participation to all of you, and we will also prepare certificates for the winners as well. So for the best position paper goes to maybe could we have like a drum roll? But unfortunately, the person is not here in the meeting room. Sorry. The delegate is not present in this meeting room. But the chair would like to give this award to this delegation because in the position paper, this delegate shows and presented his or her country's position really, really well in all of the topics, and then this person or this delegate can combine and then shows the expectations from the chair, and then this delegate also give some really innovative suggestions. So it's a very great one. And the best question paper goes to the delegate of Mauritius. Congratulations, Mauritius, but Mauritius is not here. Perhaps later, Mbak Naila, we can give and send the best position paper to this delegate. Okay, let's proceed to the other awards. Actually, this is not the award that we are expecting to give. But sometimes in model UN or meeting simulation, we can give a verbal commendation. Verbal commendation is a verbal award, so it's not going to be provided by a certificate because it's a verbal. And then this award is given to delegates who are actively participate in the meeting simulation, and to the delegate who shows a lot of willingness to learn, willingness to cooperate and participate in the discussions, even though maybe this delegate doesn't have that much substantive contributions, or maybe they still have to work a lot on this speech, and then maybe on their dynamics or like participating in meeting simulation. But the chair would like to give this verbal commendation as an encouragement for this delegate to have like some sort of feeling of want to participate in another MUN. So maybe Miss Naila, can you announce the first? Another thing, we have two verbal commendations. So Miss Naila, would you be kind to announce the first verbal commendation award?
Okay. So the first verbal commendation awards goes to the Philippines.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I don't know.
Terima kasih. Thank you so much. Wow, it was unexpected.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because
Terima kasih.
every time you give the speech, you deliver your speech, it shows that you have a lot of energy and willingness to be engaged, to be heard, and we are very appreciative of you. And also, we recognize that this is your first MUN, but we hope that you will also follow another MUN. So, congratulations for this verbal commendation. We also have another verbal commendation, and this award goes to a delegate who actually participated in a lot of moderated caucus, and this delegate shown that maybe this delegate has a previous experience, but we see that this delegate can or still have many potentials to improve their participation in verbal or written participation in meeting simulation. So another verbal commendation goes to the delegate of delegate of the neighbor of Indonesia, delegate of Australia. Is the Australia here? Here, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Oh my God.
Yeah, congratulations,
Thank
Australia.
you so much.
Congratulations in Australia and for participating actively in this meeting simulation. You have so many potentials, and please follow and participate in other model UN or meeting simulation. You will do great. And perhaps for the next meeting simulation, you will get another award. And we come to the big three of the awards. We're gonna have honorable mention, we're gonna have outstanding delegate, and we're gonna have best delegate. So for the third place or the honorable mention, this award goes to a delegate who has participated in the very beginning of the meeting simulation, and this delegate shows consistency of giving opinions and sharing the country's position, even though this delegate or this delegation is not part of IORA member states. So this is already like one hint, and we believe that this delegate has shown and like the country's position and presented this country, his or her country's position really well, and with the stances, but this delegate is still willing to participate in the discussion. For the motions that is proposed, from the substantive contributions until the submission and the presentation of the joint communique. So Ms. Naila, could you be kind to announce the Honorable Mention Award?
The Honorable Mention Award goes to People's Republic of China.
Yay! Congratulations, PRC.
Thank you. Oh my God. This is my first time actually.
Oh, that's nice. So after this
Thank you
meeting,
so
you
much.
will join more simulations in the future. You did well, so you can still improve and achieve more, I believe. So 2 awards left. We will announce the Outstanding Delegate Award. So this award is given to a delegate who also participated actively, very actively, since the beginning of the simulation. And this delegate has shown and has engaged with a lot of delegates in the discussion, and then in moderated and unmoderated caucus. This delegate has shown that this delegate has the capability of bringing people together, bringing delegates together, not only to listen to this delegate's position or country's position, but also to convince other delegates about the greater good, and then the need to be achieved in this meeting simulation. And most of all, this delegate also have shown and have stated many times about the need of collaborative efforts until the end of the meeting simulation. So this award of outstanding delegate goes to the delegate of delegate of Maldives. Yay! Congratulations, Maldives. You can open your microphone. It's okay.
Thank you all. I just like expecting I'm being the honorable because like non-IORA members, but I remember I'm the IORA.
You're part
Folklore.
of IORA. Yeah. I was surprised when you say Maldives is not part of IORA. I was like, no, you're already part of IORA, but it's okay. Thank you so much for your active participation, and you have shown so many talents in delivering your speech and delivering your intentions. So please continue to learn again, practice your speech, and perhaps participate in other simulations. So congratulations, Maldives. And then we have come and we have arrived at the announcement of the Best Delegate Award. So Best Delegate Award is like the highest award given to a delegate in any model UN or meeting simulation. And in a quality of best delegate needs a full package. So the chair already read all of your position papers. So a best delegate has to submit a great position since the position paper, and then has to maintain consistency from the beginning of the simulation until the end. And we believe that this delegate has shown his or her leadership in this meeting simulation. So not only of bringing other delegations to agree or to participate in the motions or any ideas that this delegate is proposing, but this delegate has shown that she or he is capable of leading this meeting simulation and in inviting all member states and also all the participants in this meeting simulation to work together and to produce a great joint communique. And on a substantive basis, the chair noted that this delegate has done great research and then has followed all the study guide, has followed the others' recommendations and suggestions from other delegates and also from the chair particularly. So not only substantive thing and substantive point of view, but also from the diplomatic manner, this delegate has shown that this delegate can convey the message or the country's position really well and can link, most importantly, can always come back and link to IORA's vision, IORA's best action. So that is another plus point. And then, yeah, another one is this delegate clearly shows the willingness to collaborate with all of the delegates from IORA member states, dialogue partners, and ASEAN member states. Even though we have a small number of delegates until the end, but this delegate shows that this delegate's passion and also spirit is not reduced until the end. So Ms. Naila, I would like to invite you, maybe together we can announce who is the best delegate of this IOFSR 2021. So the best delegate of this meeting simulation goes to the delegate of 1, 2, 3.
South
Africa.
Africa.
Yay!
Congratulations.
South Africa, any comments? Or you already see this coming?
No, I didn't see this coming. I thought this would be Maldives, not mine.
Actually, both of you shown really great leadership and also great participation. But with a small margin, the chair decided to give the best delegate to South Africa for having the sense of leadership and also for bringing every delegates together. So once again, congratulations to South Africa, Maldives, People's Republic of China, Australia, and also to Philippines. I would like to also congratulate Indonesia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Madagascar, Oman, who already participated also in this meeting until the end. We hope that this would be beneficial for your journey in your academic world, but also maybe in the future meetings. So once again, congratulations, delegate. I would like to say I'm proud of what you have discussed and achieved from these 3 days. And I would like to apologize to all of you if there's any words or any behavior that might be not uh, not feel like it's not considered as well in front of you. But I hope that you learn a lot. And thank you so much once again to Indonesian Maritime Youth and then from Negeri Rempah Foundation for trusting me, Miss Naila and Miss Novna as the part of the chair. Thank you so much. Maybe as a final word or final thing, we can have a round of applause to every one of you for your great contributions. Yay, thank you so much. That marks the end of our meeting simulation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and wish you all the best for your journey. We will be sending certificates through email, so you will be expecting the certificates, and then if there will be further opportunities, maybe we will also be sharing it with you. Mbak Rati or Mas Kaisar or my fellow committees, would you like to say something before we close our meeting?
Yes, just a short addition. As for these chosen delegates, we are thinking of taking all of you to become part of this Spice Route Initiative program that is joining the Caravan Budaya, or the program for introducing spice route from one place to another place, starting from Indonesia, starting from the coastal city in some part of Indonesia, which is part of the spice route culture, spice route point of port, something like that. So wait for the next announcement, and we will definitely share more information on this kind of opportunities. And we do hope that in the next future, we can also still exchange contacts, exchange information, and we will have you involved in some of the programs. So that would be a small addition from me. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mbak Kumo, for the final remarks. Wow, that's so great. You can participate in this really great diplomatic mission, and looking forward to see more and hear more opportunities from the organizers as well. So that marks the end of our meeting simulation. Once again, thank you so much, delegates, for your active participation. If you wish to deliver more feedbacks or opinions, you may reach us to our social media, and also you have our email. So thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you in the second, perhaps, Youth International Forum of Spice Road. With that, I would like to officially announce that this meeting simulation has ended. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, my dear colleagues and also fellow organizers. And congratulations, and wish you best of luck for your future endeavors. And we'll see you in another maybe meetings or other opportunities, or perhaps at the second IORA. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
Thank you,
so
Madam
much.
Chair.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Maybe for the organizers, we can stay in this meeting room first to have like a final evaluation before we close. Thank you so much, others. And for the host, you may stop the recording.